the Fed, the government is running deficits, which they should not be. They should be running surpluses right now. So that's putting pressure on interest rates. It's not just the Federal Reserve.
Hello there, my friends. Chris Marcus here with you for the StockPulse Network, and we're back at the New Orleans Investment Conference. Excited to catch up with an old friend, Mr. Mark Skousen, who I met back in 2011 in the glory days of silver.
Glory days of silver and gold, yeah.
Runs the great FreedomFest festival, and really was great opening my eyes into just the whole world of all these speakers out here. So it's great to catch up with you again. And how's everything going? And perhaps you can tell people about the festival and everything else you've been up to.
It's always great to come to the New Orleans Investment Conference. I've been to every one of them except maybe the first or second one. And I knew Jim Blanchard, the founder. And so this is always a coming home party in a lot of ways, and see Adrian Day and Doug Casey and Brian London and a lot of the other speakers, and see all the old gold bugs and hard money movement, and all it brings back reminiscences. I do my FreedomFest conference every year. Is the world's largest gathering of free minds, libertarians and conservatives getting together. And this next year our theme is the Wild West. And we have Kevin O'Leary of Shark Tank as our keynote speaker, and he's going to debate John Mackey of Whole Foods Market. We're going to do a treasure hunt worth $1,776. That'll include gold and silver coins.
Always a good.
They'll go around the exhibit hall to try to find this treasure hunt. We're going to have a square dance. We're going to have a lot of fun things to do. And the Wild West is really a reflection of what's happening politically too, isn't it? And with Donald Trump and people and Putin and what's going on in the Middle East and in Venezuela and stuff, it is a Wild West type of environment.
It does seem like it's a modern day Julius Caesar going on behind the scenes of whatever nonsense they put on TV. And in terms of, since you brought it up, I couldn't let you go without asking, with Trump in the recent Fed bashing, he's talking about Fed raising rates too fast. We're at 2% a decade later after the crisis. I can't imagine what he'd think if Paul Volcker came back with 20% rates. What do you think is going on, and how do you think this plays out, especially you've been following this for decades? Seems like we have petro yuans and maybe things are really getting close to the end. What is your take on that?
Well, I don't think Paul Volcker, even if Paul Volcker was in, he would not be raising rates on us, because what he was trying to do back in the early 80s was kill inflation. We don't have an inflation problem today. We do in terms in the money. There's a lot of new money sloshing around out there, but it's gone into the stock market, it's gone into the real estate market. It has not got into consumer prices like it did back in the 70s. So inflation is relatively tame in that respect. And I do think that Powell, as the Fed chairman, is aggressively raising rates, but primarily because the economy is recovering and unemployment is at extremely low levels. So we're at full employment. The Fed, the government is running deficits, which they should not be. They should be running surpluses right now. So that's putting pressure on interest rates. So it's not just the Federal Reserve. It's Trump's own policies, which he believes in cutting taxes, but he won't cut spending.
He won't cut spending. It'd be nice if you match those together.
Exactly. So it's not completely, he needs to look in the mirror a little bit. Which he does a lot anyway. But
it does appear so. Although, fortunately, one of the things that you do that's nice that we were just talking about before we started, you had your silver coin. I know you're a fan of silver.
I've got.
And just the idea of silver as money and...
A silver coin right here.
I like that you were saying when you come here, you get your shoes shined. You actually give people silver, which... Again, I'm a fan of, I know as silver guys, we can tend to be on the hoarding side, yet if we're looking at it as money, I thought that was great what you mentioned about actually getting it out into the world so other people can physically experience and learn that.
And the coin itself is a beautiful coin. It has all the great images of America. It's Lady Liberty and God We Trust. It's Ben Franklin's favorite symbol, the rising sun. It's got the eagle on the back, the 13 colonies, and it's silver. It represents sound money and liberty, both.
Right.
And so I think it's a tragedy that millions of these are sitting in dark in safety deposit boxes and are not admired. They might as well be rounds that have no image on it. But so I like to circulate these as much as possible. Give them away as anniversary gifts. If your child is or grandchild is graduating, give this, because it has the date, the current date that they graduated. Right. I'm going to the 50th anniversary of Reason magazine. I'll give these coins to like Bob Poole, for example, was one of the founders, to represent this, and birthday gifts. There's all kinds of things you can do when you're working as a boss. Why not give this for somebody who did something good that saves some money for the company? And tell them that's a good luck piece and they keep it in their pocket. Don't put it in a safety deposit box hidden away, but have that coin on you and pull it out and take a look at it at times, and maybe even circulate it and use it to buy a good or service. Maybe we can get the silver standard to come back into use.
Yeah, by actually getting it out there, letting people experience it.
People know what this is worth. I paid $18 for these coins.
Yeah. Have you ever actually seen that Mark Dice video where he goes on the street, he offers people an ounce of gold or a Snickers bar, and everyone's taking the Snickers?
Bar,
So I think it's great what you're doing. You know, again, I know us silver guys, we tend to hoard them, but getting it out so people can see it, people can use it. And again, also everything you do with your conference, especially when I was getting into the whole precious metals scene, was one of the first ones I went to, which it was really just special for me going there and leaving Wall Street and seeing there are other people out here who really get this. So I'm grateful for all that you've done in spreading freedom and liberty, and I know you have a flight to catch, but perhaps just can let folks know where they can find out more about the great things you're doing.
So FreedomFest at freedomfest.com is the website. And by the way, at the closing panel at FreedomFest, right after the close of the conference, we invite everybody up who has a silver dollar, and they take a picture with Steve Forbes, and everybody's holding up the silver dollar, or we throw it in the air. And it's just a wonderful thing to remember. And silver is our official coin. The American Eagle silver dollar is our official coin at Freedom Fest because it represents sound money and liberty. So it's a great experience, but for my newsletter, which I've been writing for 38 years, 20 plus 38, 2018 is the way to remember it. They can go to markskousen.com for more information on that. And I'm a big fan of squirreling away these silver dollars and to circulating it. Thanks again, Chris, for inviting me.
Mark, it's great to catch up with you again. Thanks so much for all you do, my friend.
Thank you. Take care.